Good morning, everybody. I always hope and prayers all of you physically healthy and mentally happy. So today the class are mostly for Q&A. Many of you already prepared a lot of questions. Sometimes it is very important to have like a free talk Q&A. And sometimes it's good to follow the text. Before we start the actual kind of class, just remind you, our life, the life of all sentient beings, look like, kind of 24 hours duration. The night time is look like we are in the lower realms. We are totally live in the darkness place where we cannot see the thing as they are. Then every morning, when the sunrise, it looks like start our life. But from the starting to all the way to the sunset, until the sunset, the sun never stops to moving from east to west, then again west to east. Early morning, when we woke up, when we look at the sun shining, everybody feel very pleasant, feel very happy. That's mean our childlikehood. It look like, sun rising. It's starting point of this life. It's very fresh. Then afternoon, the weather become so hot due to different conditions. Then middle of our age, from 20 to maybe 60, our life become very chaotic, very difficult, lot of confusions. Therefore, we need to rely on so many different other conditions to cool down our life. Exactly, so from age of 20 or 25 till 60, so we need to go through so many, difficulties. So many times, ups and down, down and up, down, up. Is never really stay forward. Like afternoon weather is so hot, so most of people don't like going outside during the afternoon. Then, after the age of 60, until our ending of this life, until the death, is become more stable, become more, I think, free from a lot of confusion. And people, like to go out of the house, people like to go out, mostly late afternoon in the evening. So when we retired, or maybe when we are over 60 or 70, our life become more relaxed. But from the night to morning, morning to afternoon, afternoon to evening, evening to night, the duration, the timing never stop. Our life, never stop. It's go continuously from today to tomorrow, tomorrow day after tomorrow is totally going around, going around, going around. Therefore, most of us over 50 or 60 years old, so we are really moving moment by moment towards the ending of this life. We are every moment we are moving, have been moving towards our death. Therefore, so when we do meditation, we always need to remember the three way to meditate on impermanence and death. So when we think about death, then everybody has a question, what happened after the death? What things we can carry within us? Who can go with us? So when we are dying, what happened after the death? What happened after our death? If there's nothing, it's okay. Then we no need to worry. The finish is the finish point. There won't be, it doesn't have a continuum of our life. Then it's okay. But this is not the case. Through logics, through reasonings, through a lot of evidence, there must be next life. That's means after death, what happened? So life will be continue. Our journey continue. If this is the case, so where we are going after stop this life, that means there will be two possibilities, not the three possibilities. Two possibilities, we can have the fortunate life, unfortunate life. There's no in the middle. Because we have three types of karma, the positive and the negative, the neutral. The neutral karma doesn't bring any, any kind of desire and undesired fruits. Therefore, after death, two possibilities, we can have a fortunate and unfortunate life. If there's two possibilities, which one you prefer to have? The fortunate, unfortunate. Answer, the average answer everybody will say, yes, I want fortunate life. I don't want, unfortunate life. Because based on this life experience, even though we are a human being, we were born with a kind of, the good environment place. We have all our, organs as well. We have everything as beings. Also, we have a place to live. We have a food to eat. We have lots of clothes to wear. Actually, we have everything, but we feel almost 24 hours, we feel, we are not happy. I am not happy. My parents are not happy. That means none of the people are not happy. Based on this experience, we always wish to have the fortunate life, not the unfortunate life. The next question, how we can have fortunate life, how we can stop to have unfortunate life. The answer again is very simple. If you want to grow healthy plantation, if you want to grow healthy flower and fruits, you need to plant healthy seeds. After planting the healthy seeds, you need to put all the healthy kind of sources to grow the healthy plantation. If you are able to grow very healthy plantation, then you can have the healthy flower and fruits. Likewise, if you are able to plant the healthy seeds, healthy potential to have fortunate life, then we need to cultivate, we need to plant a lot of positive potential or positive karma. Then we can have fortunate life. So here we always do contradiction. We always wish to have happy and fortunate life, but we always engage into the negative action. We always plant unhealthy seeds, unhealthy potential in our mind. But we have very strong desire to have healthy life. Instead of having healthy life, we will have definitely, surely, we will have unhealthy life, unfortunate life, because we have a lot of negative or unhealthy seeds in our mind. So, fortunate and unfortunate life, it depends on us. Everything in our hands. But still, we need to take refuge. We need to do all the recitation, chanting, daily prayers to plant healthy seeds. So therefore, I just let you remember, after a diet, there's a next life. Through reasonings, through logics, through evidence, then there's a true possibility. So doesn't matter which we will have, fortunate and unfortunate, still we need to go through all the difficulties, all the sufferings, all the problems. Because we have the fortunate life, still we feel 100% sure, I am not so happy, I'm not happy. Therefore, next, we need to think more how we can have really happy life, how we can have, kind of permanent, happy life. Therefore, second, we don't just stick, focus on accumulating merit, doing prayer, recitation, chanting. We need to think more, which is we need to think how to overcome the root, the actual causes, condition of the samsara. Mainly, we need to think how to overcome anger, attachment, hatred, so and so, particularly from the ignorance. So in order to overcome these negative thoughts, then we really need to do, serious study, serious reflection on it, serious meditation. Thus, what does mean, serious study? It doesn't mean we need to open, hundreds of thousands of Dharma books. No need. Even if you're able to understand the meaning of the Heart Sutra, if you really seriously study the Heart Sutra, you will realize emptiness. If we seriously study the Lamrim, we will able to generate bodhicitta. We will be able to generate renunciation. When we are able to cultivate bodhicitta based on compassion, then anger, attachment, ego, all of can be controlled. But still, we cannot eliminate the root of the anger and so. Therefore, we need to realize emptiness. even though studying based on the Heart Sutra, studying based on the intermediate way, so whichever text stable for you, you can use it and really seriously think about emptiness. Therefore, if somebody asks as a Mahayana practitioner, what is your daily practice? You should not say, when I woke up early morning, I do prostration, I do recitation, I do chanting, I make offering. These are the common practice, Buddhist and the other tradition. Even though you are Christian friend, Muslim friend, Jewish friend, they do also do. Early morning woke up, they do prostration, they do recitation, they do chanting, they do offering. Everything is common. So our answer must be, as a Buddhist, what is your daily practice? You must think, as a Buddhist, I do Four Noble Truth practice. I do meditation on the Four Noble Truths. That means you are really putting the solid foundation. As a Mahayana practitioner, as a follower of Mahayana teaching, what is your practice? The answer is very simple. Every day, I cultivate bodhicitta based on great love and compassion. Every day, I meditate on emptiness. So if we seriously able to cultivate in our daily life bodhicitta, able to meditate on emptiness, means our practice is very, very complete. All rest of the Mahayana practice, like the five perfections, all the rest of the practices will be included into these two practices. In order to do these two practices, we need a lot of positive energy in our mind. Means we need a lot of positive karma. Therefore, the chapter 3 is mainly for teach us how to accumulate, the big or great amounts of merits. How we can easily accumulate, big amount of merits. That is explained us in the four unlimited. So this is so I want to talk to you before the actual class. Then first we will finish the chapter 3. Then we will start the Q&A. So today I got the hard copy. It's become more easy. The stanza number 286. 286 from the chapter 3. If you lead others to develop bodhicitta and then make it firm, you will always have bodhicitta, as stable as the king of the mountains is said. That means you are talking about, two practices. First, we ourselves develop bodhicitta. Then second, we can teach, we can lead others to develop bodhicitta. So in order to teach, lead in other towards bodhicitta, first we must develop bodhicitta. Not just develop, not just cultivate. We really need to have the stable, stable bodhicitta as a king of mountain is very stable. But for us, morning we can cultivate bodhicitta. Afternoon, we don't have the bodhicitta because the bodhicitta which we have, it is not stable. We don't have the stability bodhicitta. Likewise, many Buddhist people like to give advice to other. We like to give advice to other, like your friends, your family, other, which is very good. You have a sincere motivation. Before we advise them, first we must practice ourselves, have the experience. When you advise through your own experience, the advice can be totally different. Without having experience, if you try to advise, that means it looks like you are playing like a recording to someone. It doesn't, the person who listens the advice, the person cannot feel, the transformation. Therefore, he said here, if you lead others to develop bodhicitta and then make it frame, you will always have the bodhicitta and stable as the king of the mountains is said. And also many people think it's so difficult to practice bodhicitta. Yes, if you don't really try continuously, everything is very difficult. Everything is very difficult. We put a lot of effort, very soft and gentle effort, then we can develop bodhicitta. Why we cannot? Why I cannot? Why you cannot? Because all the Buddhas, they did develop bodhicitta. Right now, all the Buddhist sadhavas have been practicing bodhicitta. Even though this day there are so many high practitioner, masters, high practitioner layperson, they able to develop bodhicitta. They did develop bodhicitta. Why we cannot? We have our minds. They have our minds. They have the potential of the Buddhahood. We have the potential Buddha. Why we cannot? So far we have been thinking, I cannot, because we are being lazy. Also, our mind always disturbed by some petty things. Therefore, we haven't developed bodhicitta yet. So therefore, if you seriously, be serious about practicing bodhicitta, just open Lamrim, or you open the Guru Yoga Puja, or even though you just recite the 7 points of maintaining, adverses maintaining, is very short, but it's very easy to know how to generate bodhicitta. Therefore, if somebody asks, oh, you follow the Mahayana, or you follow the Tibetan teacher, what is your daily practice? Then many people think, oh, I do Vajrasattva practice, I do Yamantaka Puja, I do Vajra Yogini. All this is not the right answer. Without bodhicitta, you cannot be Mahayana practitioner. Without bodhicitta, even though you really cannot think about practicing the Vajrayana things, particularly without realizing emptiness, you should not think I'm Tantrayana practitioner, higher Tantrayana practitioner. You cannot. Therefore, we should not be too excited to practice higher Tantrayana. We must be always excited to practice the bodhicitta and the emptiness. We can. Then next, 287. Through faith, you do not take rebirth, the lack freedom. Therefore, I said before, we can have a two possibility, fortunate and unfortunate. If you don't want to, born into unfortunate realms, lower realms, first we must have a faith. Through faith, you do not take rebirth, the lack freedom. Faith doesn't mean only faith you believe into Triple Gem. Faith doesn't mean only faith towards your guru. Faith towards Triple Gem, particularly strong faith, strong belief in karma, very strong belief in law of causality. But most of us, we admit, we believe, but not seriously. If we really serious in believing in our karma, if we have a pure faith in karma, then having kind of engaging into negative action, we feel scared. Even when we think about engaging in negative karma, negative action, we're scared. But we are not. That the faith doesn't mean only faith towards Triple Gem. Through faith, you do not take rebirth, the lack freedom. Through morality, you have positive rebirth. Now, two kinds of rebirth, like fortunate, unfortunate. First, we must have a faith. Then, we must practice morality. Through the developing of emptiness, developing your understanding of emptiness, you attain non-attachment to all things. Now you can see it's very simple. First, we need pure, strong faith towards Triple Gem, towards law of causality and karmas. Second, in our daily life, we must practice morality. Always be moral person. Then third, based on these two, faith and moral, then think about, reflect on how things exist. Then one day, we will realize emptiness. When we realize emptiness, it looks like we realize all things around us like a illusion, like a dream. When we realize everything around us like a dream and illusion, then there's no attachment, there's no anger, no ego, no hatred, no pride, no jealousy. It's like everything for you like a dream. It doesn't mean things around us are not existent. They are there, but they look like delusion. For example, attachment towards general phenomenon, particularly attachment towards a human being. The attachment towards human being, the attachment towards a phenomena is always changing. Always, changing. It never just stay focused on one phenomena, focused on one person. The things, the attachment changing every day because the object of the attachment, whether it is a person or it is a general phenomenon, is will changing because it's a very conditioned things. Therefore, realizing emptiness, then we will attain non-attachment to all things. Just you can imagine if you become, non-attachment everything, then you are very free. You are totally free of all the, tension, anger, hatred, ego. Just think about free from attachment. Until today, our mind is attached everywhere. You cut one, a drop of the attachment, there's a millions of. You cut one attachment, you have a new attachment. Therefore, we feel so tired, we feel so fed up with this samsara, Our mind is totally attached with so many things. Just free from attachment means look like you are free from the samsara. You are look like really achieve liberation. Therefore, emptiness. Then, when we do meditation, when we do meditation, everybody has the problem. We say, I cannot focus. I cannot cultivate mindfulness. How we can? Then next, by not being deceptive, you become mindfulness. Deceive. Generally, we always think, I deceive others or they deceive me. This is one of the deceiveness. Second is most serious, the deceiveness is, deceive yourself. We always, every day, we deceive ourselves. We know, we are getting fat, become fatty. Still, the mind say, don't want to eat. Other mind say, want to eat, but still we eating a lot of food. Maybe we are deceiving ourselves. And we feel we need proper exercise, the right amount of exercise, but we don't. That means we deceive ourselves. We know we need it, but we ignore, we deceive. Deceiving other, we can stop. It is not easy to deceiving yourself. If you have very deceived mind, then you cannot achieve the mindfulness. By not being deceptive, you become mindfulness. Through reflection, you attain intelligence. Therefore, we really need a lot of reflection. Anything come in your life, anything you can see, we need to reflect. When you see ugly object, completely ugly, completely beauty, when you see ugly object, we say, wow, it's so ugly. Still, we need to reflection on it. Is it really ugly? How is ugly? It can be ugly for me. It can be very nice for others. When you see very beautiful, attractive things, also you need to reflect. You need to think about, the beautiful object. Also, when we need to go through a lot of, difficulty situation, you should not feel it's so difficult. You need to do a lot of reflections. When you reflect on the difficult situation become very easy situation, become more easiness. Reflection is so important. Sometimes, when the weather becomes so hot, the temperature becomes so high, if it is so hot, then we feel, very unhappy. That you reflect on, if I stay very cold area, what happened? Compared with this country, compared with, that time, this hotness is nothing. Then you can see, you become very intelligent. Intelligence, reflection. Through reverence, you will realize the dharmas and the meaning, dharma's meaning, reverence. Yeah, whether the person is, the person or not, we must have a reverence. Particularly, we really have, pure respect, reverence to the dharma, to the teaching, and to the, qualified teacher who teaches the dharma. Then you will know the meaning of dharma. Through protecting the dharma, you will become wise. Dharma can have two meanings. The external dharma, the dharma books. the internal Dharma, which is you realize the meaning of the Dharma. Means you understand the Buddhism, great compassion you cultivate. You need to protect the compassion. You need to protect the bodhicitta. You need to protect, the renunciations. Then you will become wise. Through eliminating obscuration in listening to the imparting of the Dharma, you will gain the companionship of the Buddhas and quickly fulfill your desire. Therefore, through eliminating obscuration in listening to the imparting Dharma, you will, there's been two practice, kind of two rules, condition. Eliminating the obscuration, listening to the Dharma. If you do two practices, always listening the teaching and apply the teaching, eliminate the obscuration. Obscuration can be negative thoughts. Obscuration can be the karma. Obscuration can be the a certain kind of difficulty in your life. So if you're free from obscuration, always listening the teaching, apply the teaching, that means you always have the companionship with the Buddha. Then quickly fulfill your desire. Two things, listening the teaching, apply the teaching, and eliminate the obscuration, then you always able to live with the Buddha. Then you quickly fulfill your desire. So this sentence is, I feel, is very relevant, also very important, because many of us, monthly or yearly or every 2-3 years, we meet many important Rinpoche, important Sifu. It's very important. Those are very important, very qualified, being. It is good to see them, good to know them. It's very good to have the teaching advice from them. But the most important, we need to apply. I said in the past many times, we have a very strong kind of desire to see very qualified, famous, spiritual being. Also, we always want to meet or want to see them, which is very good. But we don't care much about their advice. We don't care much about their teaching. It's no good. If you really respect someone as your teacher or guru or sifu, you always need to follow his teaching. You always, promote your guru. But you're forgetting yourself, promoting the Dharma in your mind, in your lifestyle. If you only promoting your guru, if you always or just only very happy having just guru, you're not going to reach anywhere. The second most important is, if you're very happy with your guru, you must be happy with his teaching. You're happy with the guru, but you're not so happy with the teaching. Therefore, this one is it. Quickly fulfill your desire. You can have a companionship with the Buddha through the two practices. Always listen to teaching and eliminate the obscuration. Then you can fulfill whatever you wish to, fulfill. The next, 290. Through non-attachment, you accomplish your ends. Through lack of greed, your possession increase. Through lack of pride, you will become prominent. So non-attachment, you accomplish your ends. So many things we cannot achieve our life because our mind, our life is attached here and there. If you are totally free from the attachment, you can accomplish your aims, non-attachment with your family. It doesn't mean, again, make sure non-attachment doesn't mean you don't need to take care of your family. You must. We have the responsibility to take care of each other. We have the responsibility, have to look after each other, but without attachment. Like you can take care of your father and mother and sister, brother, friend as just suffering being. Mean based on compassion, not based on attachment, based on non-condition, not with the condition. Then definitely you can achieve your aim. Through lack of greed, your possession increase. We think we have to be very greedy, so we just, therefore we always, collect and collect and collect. We never share our possession with others. Therefore, our possession cannot increase. Free from, greedy, you just freely share your things. Everything will increase. Your wealth increase, your name increase. Your positive karma going to be increased. You will become permit through tolerance for the Dharma of emptiness. You attain of not fattening, not forgetting. So what does mean tolerance of the Dharma or emptiness? So when we listening, teaching about bodhicitta, great compassion, karma, still we can understand. Also we can feel it makes sense. When we listening the teaching of about emptiness, so then we have a lot of doubts. Sometimes we don't understand, sometimes we feel it doesn't make sense. That means we are not able to tolerance with the teaching of emptiness, about emptiness. Through giving the five quintessential and fearless to those in fear, you will become impervious to all demons and the best of powerful beings. The next is mainly talking about, making offering, light, flower, so and so to the stupa or the statue, like offering sound, incense, or all the beautiful object. Also, we need to understand, we must have a kind of have to be very intelligent how to change things according to the environment, according to the circumstances. It's like a making offering. In Tibet, in Bhutan, in Nepal, in Ladakh, all the Himalayan, like even the Mongolia, when they make offering, like an offering torma, they make a tsampai cake, a kind of cake, like a dough. They put all the butter sculpture. Right now, most of you are living in Singapore. You don't have a tsamba, or you don't have the the proper butter to make the sculpture. Even though you do everything, at the end you cannot eat. You cannot ask people to eat. You need to throw in the dustbin. So therefore, when we're making offering like a torma, you just buy a cake, you just buy a biscuit and cookie and set up there. You offer to the Tripaljan or the but whoever. At the end, you can eat it. You don't need to throw. Also offering like a light. Yes, traditionally in India, ancient time, they always offer the the oil lamp or butter lamp. Right now, there are so many new things. You don't need to offer a butter lamp, oil lamp, candle light. You can offer the electric light. It's very clean. It's so bright. Inner bright is so beautiful. Instead of offering, the oil lamp, better to offer, like candle. Instead of offering candle, better to offer the electricity light, the electric light, because it doesn't produce smoking. It doesn't really affect the environment. If you offer a lot of candle light, oil lamp, you can see first your house become black, also is polluted the air. So this all the offering we have to change according to the circumstances, according to the, where you live. Then then stanza number 294. Do not speak of other errors, nor mention their physical handicraft. By carefully protecting their minds, you will attain the knowledge of others' mind. Yeah, it is so important. Don't speak of other errors, other faults generally. But when we talk, when we meet, when we have a gathering with the friends and someone, we always talk about others. Oh, Mr. Lim doing this, Mrs. Lim doing this, Mr. Hong doing this. We always talk about others. We always talk other errors, other faults. This means you are just wasting your time, wasting your energy. Stop, totally stop to talking about others. If it's necessary, it's very important, then you can talk about their problem with a sense of compassion, not for the sense of harming. Right? Therefore, do not speak of other errors, nor mention their physical handicraft. Also, when we mention the physical, challenges like handcuffs, sometimes the people are really deeply hurt. Even though the physical paper is completely okay, but look, when you say, oh, this person did this ugly, that ugly, this part is not, sufficient, is really hurt from deeply. There's no point to mention, oh, your body is very ugly, your nose is not nice, your air is not nice. Don't talk. You just hurt other. You're not going to get anything. You're not going to gain anything. Also, be carefully protect their minds. Very important. So when we speak to someone, make sure the person won't get angry, upset. Also make sure the person won't get ego, pride. Sometimes we really, want the person happy, so we have a lot of exaggerate. Oh, your object is nice, your family good, your house good, your car good, your job good. That means so we are really increasing the person's pride, ego. That means we are not really protecting their minds. Therefore, make sure whatever we talk about other, make sure don't, hurt them. Particularly, make sure, don't let their ego kind of pride increase. Then you will attain the knowledge of others' minds. By providing shoes and the convenience, attending to those who are weak, and assisting one's gurus with the transportation, the wise person attains the miraculous power. Through the making effort of the sake of Dharma, through keeping the Dharma thesis and their meaning in mind, and through the giving Dharma immaculately, you will come to remember your past life. Yes, first one, through the making effort of the sake of Dharma, through keeping the Dharma thesis and the meaning in the mind. Yes, we need to keep the Dharma thesis, particularly the meaning. Then you will attain the miraculous power. Through through correctly and the truly understanding that all things are essential, essenceless, you will attain the six fatigue. I think the P is silence, right? Satic power, the supreme cessation of defilement. By meditating so as to the liberate all being upon the unformed awareness of the suggestness that has been the motion by the compassion, you will become a victor with the supreme quality. That means, realize emptiness based on compassion, cultivate compassion based on realizing emptiness, then you will become the victor with supreme qualities. Then you become victorious, you will achieve all the qualities. That means it's talking about the true practices, wisdom methods, method with the wisdom. Due to your various aspirational prayers, your body filled will be pure. Your body filled will be pure. By having offered precious gem to the king of the sages, you will shine with the infinite light. Those realize that karmic effort corresponded to his karmic cause. Therefore, you should always benefit being. This will likewise benefit you. So this chapter number 3 is chapter of the accumulating merit. So I hope all of you quite know well known how to accumulate merit. Okay, so we complete the chapter 1, 2, 3. So next Sunday, still I think we can have a class. We will go through the chapter 4. In the chapter 4, the stanza number 304. The blessed one said that at the right time, one should say what is true, gentle, meaningful, and useful to one disciple out of love. Hence, I tell you this thing. So this is extremely important as a living as a family. The blessed one said that at the right time. So when you really want to say something, when you really want to give advice to someone which is dear to one, you need to look the right time. If you tell things in the wrong time, your advice, your teaching, your guidance become poison for the person at the right time. Not the right time, one should say what is true. What is true. Sometimes we just add a lot of quality things just in order to be the person happy. The truth. What is the truth? It is truth. But when you say it's called with a harsh word, also it won't benefit the person. This was gentle. Truth, gentle, and meaningful and useful. Yes, you're going to say the truth. If you use the harsh words, it won't be useful. You want to say the truth. If you say, if you say the wrong time, you won't be benefit. Therefore, the right time, true, gentle, meaningful, useful. Meaningful, then things become very useful for the disciple. Same useful for your friends and family also. This is, I think, very extremely important methods how to give advice, how to guidance, how to guide others. Okay, so thank you so much. Now we can see Q&A. we can have a half hour. Okay, so now we can start Q&A.
Dear Dharma brothers and sisters, if you have any questions, you may type in the chat window or raise your
So no Q&A. Please warm up.
Dear Geshe, there's one question over here. The stress, the advice that's given by Nagarjuna is to a king. Many of the things that he says is not something that we do in the modern day. For example, in the generosity part, he says, put sugars where there's ant. Isn't it by doing that, it will, by giving all this food to insects, you draw more cockroach and insect to your house? Is so unhygienic, and then you kill the cockroach and insect. Isn't it the bad things to do? So in the modern day, how do we supposed to correctly do generosity to all those insects and animals by not doing bad to the environment? Thank you, Geshe.
Actually, Nagarjuna didn't say you put the honey, like the sweetness to the insect in your house. It's quite simple. Let's say, so India was a huge country, has a lot of empty land. When you walk around, you can see the bunch of, like ants. So they are searching food. That means that time, you give a sweetness, honey to them, you put some there, water, so it benefit for them. And also that time, Les is talking, he taught this teaching almost 2,100 years ago. After 400 after Buddha passed away. That time there was an issue of the environment. India doesn't have an environment issue. You are right. Whatever is advice, it doesn't mean all the advice we must apply this time. Right now we are having serious issue of the environment issue is so serious. The global warming, increasing population, increasing other things. One thing we always need to remember, general point of view from the Western culture. I'm not criticizing the Western people, the Western culture. According to the ancient culture, the land belongs to everybody. Everybody. Whether you are human being, you are not human being, like cow and sheep and insect and ants, the land belongs to all sentient beings, the beings who live on the planets. The planet belongs to. But we human beings have been destroying all the trees and forests and the natural resources. We really, damage the planets. But we are not criticizing, human. But when the animal, destroying the environment here and there, like a rats and insect, we kill them. We thought this planet belongs to me, belongs to human being, not you. This is a serious mistake. So ancient culture, the lands, the planets belong to everybody. We human have a right to live, other creatures have a right to live. But we want to protect ourselves, therefore we totally, ignore for other creatures. Because this culture we adopt based on the Western culture. Yes, there are so many ways you can do, practicing generosity without harming any sentient beings. The best, generosity of giving life, generosity of giving teaching. Those are very important. Nobody can go to, nobody is not going to harm for anybody. Also, until we have a stable mind, we have to be careful how much we can give, how much we can keep for ourselves, until you have a very stable mind. Once you have a very stable mind, then you can give more, you can give less. Otherwise, just hearing the teaching, benefiting of getting benefit of all the, the result of generosity, you wish to give so many things, so much. Then at the end, you will have a lot of disappointment. Then slowly you're going to criticize the Dharma. You're going to criticize a person who teach you, practicing generosity. Therefore, stable mind is very important. As a beginner, at the beginning, you do all the practices based on, visualization, level. Then slowly you can go practical, give little, they reflect your motivation, also reflect your attachment and desire. After you give something to others, you feel little bit, sense of stingy. You feel, oh, I should not give. That means the generosity not that pure. Thank you. The next question.
Yeah, Geshe La, the next question is, what would you advise us on practicing the meditations on emptiness and compassion? Do you mean that we meditate on both in the same meditation sessions or separate sessions the same day, alternate the sessions every day, etc.? Or does it depend on students' capacity?
It is not depends on the student capacity, but you cannot, meditate emptiness and great compassion at the same time. It's kind of alternative. So therefore, entering the middle way is mentioned. Remember the 3 types of compassion. First, you can reflect on a very particular object like a flower, reflect on the flower and think about how the flower exists. Then slowly, gradually, you're going to realize that the flower is just there based on merely causal condition, merely designated. The flower is not really there as independent. When you realize, kind of you realize kind of emptiness, but you cannot cultivate compassion towards the flower. Then the same idea you can apply it to sentient beings. You reflect on one person who has a lot of sufferings, how the person exists. Then through analytical meditation, you will realize the person is totally empty of inherent existence. Then you can slowly generate compassion. Means he or she is the nature's emptiness. He or she haven't realized yet. Due to no realizing emptiness, the person always believes things exist inherently. Then the ignorance produces karma. The karma produces samsara. The person remains samsara forever. Then, second, you can cultivate compassion. And alternatively, other ways, first you cultivate compassion towards the person, then gradually you can enter into emptiness. But you cannot do that these two meditation at the same time. Therefore, compassion conjoined with the wisdom conjoined with the compassion. The best example mentioned many Lamrim, the mother having the mother is eating a food, but then the remember losing the child. She has just only one child, which is very dear to her. She's really dear to him or she. She lost the dear child. So the child is not there. The child is dead, maybe a few weeks or a few months, few years ago. But still, while here, she is eating, she is talking, she's doing different action. But in the deep down, in her mind, she always remember the dear child. Therefore, when you meditate on emptiness, in your deep mind, you always must have the compassion. When you meditate on compassion, you are meditating on compassion in your deep mind, you must have the compassion still there. But the compassion not really active is there, not really, manifest way is still there. Thank you. Next question.
Is it that can only human or beings from the higher realm attain enlightenment?
Not really. If you compare with the human and higher realms with the lower realms, we have a more opportunity to receive teaching. So we have a very unique, like a mind capacity to think more precisely, think more widerly. Even though the hungry beings, hell being, has a potential, have a mind, but the potential is not that enough, great enough to achieve Buddhahood. For example, so according to many sutras, so it's mentioned Buddha Shakyamuni, he cultivated bodhicitta while he was in the hell being. How he cultivated bodhicitta? So he was, I think, pulling the very heavy chariot, you can say ox wheel, very heavy. Then his component, the chariot always need to pull by 2 ox. So he was a hell being. His friend was too weak to pull the chariots, too heavy. Then the hell, being who controlled them, he really, beat him so strongly that he said, "Don't beat him. I will pull the chariot." He totally cultivate, bodhicitta based on exchanging 7 other. Then the hell being became very angry. He hit, very strong hammer his hand, so he died. Then immediately, instantly, he was born into higher realms. Since he practiced bodhicitta until he became Buddha. So actually, everybody has a opportunity, ability, but the higher beings like a human, particularly human, has a very unique potential, unique capacity to achieve Buddhahood based on the Buddha Shakyamuni's teaching. Because Buddha Shakyamuni taught the teaching mainly for the human. So he taught the teaching according to human capacity, human potential. Therefore, for example, the Vajrayana practice, the 5 stages, In the 5 stages, he mentioned about all the chakras and channel, the central channel. So the celestial being doesn't have the chakra and channel, so they cannot. It doesn't mean they don't have the capacity to achieve Buddhahood. If other Buddha will come in the future, the Buddha can teach, how to achieve Buddha according to their capacity. The teaching will be different. But this moment, the human being is the kind of best field, has the best capacity to achieve Buddhahood through applying the Buddha Shakyamuni's teaching. Okay, next question. We can have 2 more questions if there's questions.
Not for now, Geshe.
Okay, then we can stop our class here today. Yeah. So next Sunday, I would like we can have a class based on the 4th chapter. Then all of you, thank you so much for attending the teaching. Today we have 38 people. Somehow the number is going to decrease. Maybe people are busy, whatever. So still we have 38 people. All of you attend the teaching. Thank you so much. Very, very appreciate and enjoy your Sunday. So before we stop our teaching, we do dedication. Whatever merit and positive karma we have accumulated in the past, we have accumulated today, all the merits together. Today, we are going to dedicate for able to generate bodhicitta in order to achieve Buddhahood, to benefit all sentient beings. Gyava Jesu Losang Trava Dembe Nimbu Rindu Sajesho Chanjo Senjo Rimbo Jema Ye Bana Gyu Gyava Nyamba Meba Yankone Gondo Bewo Sonye Tawa Rimbo Jema Ye Bana Gyu Gyava Nyamba Meba Yankone Gondo Pewarsho. Second, we dedicate all the merit to benefits all sentient beings, particularly all your relatives, friends and family and co-workers. Jamba Bavi Chedara Kempo Gundo Zambo Deyan Deje Deda Gunje Jesu Daloje Gewa Deda Danje Rado. Last, we dedicate the merit for world peace. All countries, all human beings, all sentient beings need peace, particularly peace between Russia and Ukraine, other parts of the world. Jidyan Yambe Gegan Danje Mine Chune Zase Zaden Matru Muge Guba Gunje Sirene Me Digi Dembor Show.